my name's Sadie and today I'm going to take you through Google Search Console. So far in this series we have gone through how to set up Google Search Console as well as adding a sitemap. So today I'm going to take you through the features and how to best use it to optimize for your website. Google Search Console is a great tool for any website owner or digital marketer. It provides valuable insights into your website and allows you to best optimize to reach your target audience. So when you go into Google Search Console, you want to make sure that you have selected the correct property that you want to be working on, and also make sure that the account is verified. And if you haven't done this already, we have a video on how to set up Google Search Console and the entire verification process. So firstly, we'll have a look at the overview, which is a breakdown of the performance of your website. So it breaks this down into performance, indexing, experience, and enhancements. With performance, you can see that over a 3-month period, we have got 551 total clicks on this website. And with indexing, it shows that there are 109 not indexed pages and 21 indexed. So this can be for multiple reasons. You don't necessarily want all of those 109 to be indexed, so that could potentially be fine, but they're not. And in experience, it shows the core web vitals as well as HTTPS. And in enhancements, we don't actually have any data in this account yet, but it would show things like breadcrumbs and structured data. So if you go back to the top of the overview page, you can see Search Console Insights on the top right. And if you go into that, it will show you a simple and understandable format over the past 28 days of your website's overall performance. So we can see here that we have got 157 clicks from Google Search, and it's actually showing that this has increased by 1% in comparison to the previous 28 days. It also shows your growing content compared to the previous period, so specific pages that are increasing in clicks and in rankings. And then overall, the most popular content, so not necessarily the ones that have increased by a lot, but the ones that remain consistently popular. And then as you continue to scroll down, it shows your most searched queries, which you can also change this to most trending queries. So again, it's a similar thing with trending and popular. So most searched would be overall what you are most searched for, and then the top trending ones would be the ones that have increased in popularity within the past 28 days. And then when looking at most searched queries, top trending queries, most popular content, all of that, you can scroll through different pages, so you're not just seeing the top 3 or 5. You can scroll through and see even up to the top 10, top 20, basically just as much information as it is providing you. These insights really help you to understand your website's search performance and find the best opportunities to boost your visibility, which is obviously very helpful in improving your rankings for your website. So going back to the overview, you want to move over into the performance tab. And this shows all of your performance results. So I'll go through each of these metrics in a moment, but you want to make sure that your search type is selected as web, and then you'll also want to choose your date range. So it is set on the last 3 months at the moment, but you can move it to the last 28 days, the last 7 days, the last 6 months, the last 12 months, and the last 16 months, or you can even select a custom date range as well. And you can also do a comparison, so you can do all of the date ranges that I just mentioned and compare it to the previous period or year over year. So I'll just go into comparing the last 3 months of the previous period just to show you what that would look like. So you can see here that you can select and unselect the boxes. One of them always has to be selected. The dotted lines show the previous period and the solid lines show the current period. And you'll be able to see this if you hover over, and you can see the dates as you go along the graph. So just for this example, I am going to go back to just showing purely the last 3 months. I have just selected all of the metrics that we're looking at. It can be a little bit hard to notice any sort of growth or dip when all of them are selected. So if you did want to look at any specifically, then obviously you can just unselect and reselect whichever ones you want to specifically focus on. So the clicks would be obviously people that are clicking through on Google search results through to your website. The total impressions are how many people view your website on Google search results. So this can include people that click through and people that don't. Then we have the average CTR, which is the average click-through rate. So the total clicks will be 4.3% of the total impressions. Then we have the average position for all of the search terms that we are coming up for in Google. So if I scroll down below the graph, we can see a table which shows queries, pages, countries, devices, search appearance, and dates. So queries are essentially just keywords. It's just Google Search Console's way of phrasing that. So you can sort these by clicks, whether that is low to high, and you can do the same with impressions, click-through rate, and position. And you can also sort the queries themselves into A to Z or Z to A, whichever way you want to view them. Then if you go into pages, this will show the exact pages on your website rather than just the keywords. And you can again sort these by clicks, low to high, impressions, click-through rate, position, and again, A to Z or Z to A. And then if you go into countries, again, you've got the same metrics that you can sort by, but this just shows you the top countries that you're gaining visitors from. And then again, the same thing with devices, but we can see here that mobile is actually the top device that people are using, and then desktop, and last is tablet. And again, you can see all of the clicks, impressions, click-through rate, and position on each of these devices as well. Going back to queries, I have sorted them by clicks being high to low. So the top result has got the most clicks in this 3-month period. And this is by Mobile Homes Spain, which is the exact branded name. So for this term, we have received 76 clicks, and we're also in position 1 for this. And you can see that we have got a very high click-through rate of 80%. And with by Mobile Home Spain, so the slight variation on that, we are receiving slightly less clicks at 54. And then a click-through rate, again, quite high, but a little bit lower of 43.2%. And this is at an average position of 2.6. All of the other keywords are pretty much variations of this same phrase. So mobile homes for sale in Spain, mobile homes for sale in Spain near beach. Most of these keywords are kind of sitting either at the very bottom of the top page or sitting at the very top of the second page. So where we're seeing ones in position 11, 12, 13, that would all be on the top of the second page. And obviously what we want to do is move these onto the top page and ideally within the top 3 positions. So this particular keyword, mobile homes for sale in Spain, we're actually receiving a lot of impressions for this, but the click-through rate is quite low due to the slightly higher position of 11.5. And we're still getting a lot of clicks for this as it's the 3rd most popular query that we're getting clicks for. And obviously, as mentioned, the impressions are very high. So by moving the search term from position 11.5 on the top of page 2, even just onto the first page will increase those clicks and that click-through rate a lot, as well as the impressions. So if we click onto that specific keyword, we can see the graph specifically for that. So as we saw for all of the keywords overall before, we can look at that for one specific query. And then if we scroll down, obviously in queries, it is being specified for this particular one. So that is the only one that it is showing. But if we go into pages, then we can see the pages that are being ranked for this specific keyword. So the top one that we are actually receiving all of the clicks from is buymobilehomesspain.com, so the domain for the website. And then as we want to increase the position and all of the other metrics that come along with that for this particular keyword, we would take the content that is on the homepage and put this keyword into Surfer SEO to optimize for that, as well as the other main keywords that we want to target. And then going back to the performance page, I've removed that specific keyword that we were looking at. So we're now looking at all of the main queries again. And if you look at that table, you can see on the far right, there is a little section where you can filter the queries. So this gives you a selection of the metrics that we were looking at before, but it just allows you to specifically filter one of these metrics. So as an example, we will go on to position, and then you can also select that it equals a certain number, doesn't equal, greater than, or smaller than. So if we go on to smaller than and type in 3, this will show everything that is within the top 3. But if you wanted to see everything that is below the top 3, you would say that it is greater than. So these would be the keywords that you are wanting to improve on and get higher up in the rankings. So again, if I just choose a random one of these top keywords, so they are still receiving the top amount of clicks, but they are the ones that are below position 3, so positions 4 and onward. So again, if I click into this specifically, we can see a graph for that keyword. So going into pages, we can see that with this specific keyword, it is showing 4 pages that are ranking. So there are 2 that are in positions 11 and 11.4, and the others are much further down at position 40.4 and 56.7. However, with this, we want to be really aware of keyword cannibalization. So keyword cannibalization is when you have more than one page trying to rank for the same keyword, and they're essentially fighting each other to get to that top position. And it can also, just confuse Google, make it so that it doesn't really know which page it should be ranking for this term. The next feature in Google Search Console is URL inspection. So with this, you can search a specific page on the website to see if it's indexed. This is useful if you've made a new page and want to see if it's indexed. And if you have changed the page content on an existing page, you can also request indexing, which will allow Google to recrawl your website and find additional information. So the next feature that we're going to look at down the sidebar is page indexing. So this will show you a graph of the pages that are not indexed, which will be in gray, and then the pages that are indexed will be in green. And again, it shows you this over a 3-month period. So if you scroll down, you'll be able to see a breakdown of why pages aren't being indexed. So this could be for multiple reasons, like there being a 404, it being blocked by robots.txt, or potentially the page has been discovered or even crawled, but Google hasn't indexed it, which essentially means that Google is not seeing it as high value enough to have it on its search rankings. So it's really important that if a page is supposed to be indexed, that you go through and find out why it's not been, and how you can fix it so that it is. So below page indexing on the sidebar, you've got sitemaps. It's really important that you have a sitemap generated and submit it to Google Search Console. So if you haven't done this already, we have a video on this which will take you through the entire process. As you can see, there are some more sections down the sidebar, but I will save these for a more advanced video later on. And that is everything for our beginner's guide to Google Search Console. If you do have any other questions at all, let us know in the comments below. Give it a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and we'll see you in the next one.